Where's my keys? Oh, okay. Hello and welcome to the first ever episode 2 of Joyride. It's been a while because we actually recorded 2.5 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And we didn't press the button properly, so here we are.
I was actually about to put my seatbelt on, man.
Well, you can if you want, I guess.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
But,
we're recording, mate.
Yeah, we're
Record
joined,
and drive.
joined by the same people. Jonathan Paul Versace, Karim Ali Bakali.
What's up?
And I guess I'm in your driver's seat tonight, Lachlan Thomas. Tonight, what we're going to talk about, man, we got some big news in America.
There is big news in America. But first of all, let's roll back to you with your PTSD awareness.
Oh, that thing.
Yep.
God, I say that thing. That doesn't sound good.
On day one. On day one.
Day one?
Well, on day what now? Sorry.
What day are we on?
Day, yeah.
I believe it's 7. I forgot to upload yesterday, but it's the 25 push-ups for 25 days challenge.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I got nominated by my auntie.
Okay.
And, yeah, been doing that for a week now. Didn't nominate him because I know he won't do it, so I nominated his girlfriend.
Yep.
Nominated you Sunday.
That's actually kind of sad, though, when you think about it.
What?
Like, your girlfriend's doing it, but you're not.
I'm doing it with her.
Okay. Actually, look, I can't talk, man, because you did nominate me recently.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
Tonight. Or 2 nights ago. Yeah.
2 nights ago, but for particular reasons, personal matters, I can't do it at the moment. But kudos to you, man. Great awareness. Post-traumatic stress disorder and all that stuff.
We understand your hemorrhoids is getting in the way.
Yes.
We'll let it slide for now.
That's some personal reasons. How'd you know?
Yeah, so...
Yeah, but big things. Speaking of which, though, when it comes down to that PTSD and all that stuff, why do you think PTSD is such a major... I mean, in today's world, like...
Was such a big thing?
Not just PTSD, but like... I mean, a lot of things.
Well, mental health?
Mental health. Yeah. More than ever, I think.
Well, probably
I think
it's just because, bro, for so long it was just a fucking joke.
Yep.
Like, it was just like, oh, man, it's fucking bullshit. Like...
Yeah, especially our parents' generation.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You can't talk to them about it, mostly anyways.
Would you agree that it's kind of the times as well, though?
Well, people are being more depressed recently? Like,
well, think about it, on a certain level, even when it comes down to, anxiety and stress or disorders and all that stuff, you're kind of going into a society that's very apprehensive.
Yep. And
you got to be acutely aware of what you say on a daily basis because, we're in a politically correct society, whether you're, pro... I don't know, give me a couple of pros here, Jonathan. What do you reckon?
Pro what?
I don't know, pro...
Surfer.
Pro surfer, yeah, mate.
If you identify as a surfboard.
Yeah, like,
I don't know.
Are you going to be, there's going to be a witch hunt if, you identify yourself as a surfboard. But, like, can we agree, though? Like, it's kind of a...
Well, people will probably get upset because of the amount of, I guess, kind of social standards we put in front of ourselves nowadays. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Do you think you can, like, this is one of the questions, like, me and my brother were talking about the other day. Do you think you can truly be yourself in the outside world? Like, do you think...
today's day and age.
Yeah, because you may rub someone up, the wrong way. I mean, in terms of what you... we're in a very...
That's a good question.
Look, I think some people are normal in public in terms of themselves, but I know as, myself, I'm different in, like, you have that public image. You have that image that only a certain few people know of yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I believe it's possible.
It is possible.
I don't believe...
Well, let's give an example.
Yeah.
Let's give an example.
I can think of something.
You can?
Yeah.
Actually, let's go there.
Well, I heard from Dan Pena once, who's like a fucking multi-billion-dollar fucking man.
Yeah.
Only 3% of entrepreneurs are extroverts, like true extroverts or something.
Yeah.
Extroverts being, they say what they actually truly feel.
Yeah.
And some great introverts, he mentioned, nothing wrong with them, but like people like Warren Buffett's and your Elon Musk's.
Yeah.
They're introverted people.
Yeah.
Because they won't tell you how they feel.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas, there's a 3% category of people that actually will.
Yeah.
So on the streets, just because someone's being a loud, cocky dickhead, I guess, doesn't necessarily mean he's extroverted. You could just be putting on this mask, man, for society, if you know what I mean.
But that's what I think. A lot of people have got that mask on and all that stuff. But you know, going on further though, like, what's your opinion? Like, okay, something major's happened this week. Very big.
Yep.
Disgusting. There was an African American.
Oh yes, Mr. Floyd.
George Floyd, who lost his life.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Actually, what's your thoughts on that? Like, how do you guys feel about that? I mean,
well, have you actually seen the video?
I'll give you my rant.
Have you actually seen the video?
I have, and like, honestly, no one. It kind of like creeps me out.
Mm.
I mean, imagine like begging for your life by someone that's meant to protect and serve you.
Mm.
You're raised. You grow up thinking that that's what the police are there for, and you're pleading and begging for your life, and then you actually see the life, being sucked out, like, in this guy's, in his eyes, pretty much. It's horrible. It's absolutely disgusting. Like,
over what suspected forgery, I think was.
Well, the assumption, what they thought was that he had a counterfeit $20 bill.
Fucking $20.
Over $20, man. This human being, this poor soul, lost his life.
Yeah.
At the hands of someone that, we believe, not just in America and all that stuff, like that they're meant to uphold and protect and serve in the law, But yeah, going back to sorry to cut you off, but what you were saying, like,
oh no, man, like you're saying that creeps you out, but what creeps me out is your final moments is on someone's fucking iPhone.
Yeah.
That's what fucking creeped me out when I saw it.
Yeah.
Like, it was a bit uncomfortable to watch. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm like, oh, fuck, I kind of got to understand what the fuck's going on here.
Yeah.
And then I did when I saw that.
Yeah.
Dude, these guys are fucking gasping for air.
Yeah.
Like, a party, like, I don't know, watching that, it's kind of like in that fucking moment, knowing what has happened now and all the consequences as a result, you wouldn't have just spear tackled that fucking cop, right? Party thinks so, but the other party thinks, but fuck, no one would have known, bro. Like, but I guarantee you, man, I don't think anyone thought that cunt was actually dying. You know what I mean? Like, like, bro, he was begging for his life.
But it makes you kind of think.
It's such a hard one, man. Like,
where's the humanity? Where's the humanity in this officer? Take away his badge and the rest of it and all that stuff. But where's the humanity? Like, they did.
They did.
I was going to touch on that a bit later. He's because we're going to go into another topic that I think is worse than what's happened to Mr. George Floyd. Yeah, rest in peace. But it's bad, but I think what's happened after it, America's burning right now. Yeah. But, what about you? What about you, Jonathan? What about you? Like,
I haven't watched the video.
You haven't watched the video?
I can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah. You never watch fucking anything.
For the small number of viewers that we have right now, like this saw the last episode.
You guys already know, Jono. He's
Can we touch on Star
but you know
Wars
what?
for a second?
No.
We're gonna move from Floyd to Star Wars.
No.
That's
a massive disservice.
I have to defend myself, but in terms of watching something, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was in shops the other day, and I saw the whole 9 episodes of Star Wars in a box set.
Yeah.
And I was gonna buy it.
Why would you do that?
Why?
Disney Plus is like $8.99 a month.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But look, I like having box sets.
All right. Besides that, and if people want to relate, people want to know where the Star Wars commentary came from, like, you just got to tune into the last episode.
Yeah. Refer to the last episode.
Yeah.
It takes up a third of the last episode.
It does, and
check
unfortunately, me and Lachlan bullying the hell out of Jonathan. But
fuck, better bully you now, but you haven't even seen the fucking news.
Yeah.
I've looked at the news. I have.
But what's your thoughts on it, though, Jonathan? Like,
what's my thoughts?
Well,
I definitely don't agree that, a person who's meant to be helping the community and defending the community kind of thing is, he killed an innocent person.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
It was horrible stuff.
Yeah.
But what's happened after this? So this is where We'll probably get flagged from YouTube for this. All right.
You want to say it then?
Yeah. You know, this is where, I mean, like, these gentlemen here know me well enough and my stuff, and they know my distaste for the mainstream media.
Look, I think anyone that just doesn't have their heads buried in the sand can get behind that.
Yeah.
Fuck me saying that's probably bad, but it's true.
No, but it's true. It's very true.
People get
it's very
buried
true.
in that media, yeah.
You know, but right now, you know, there's a couple of things that, like, I got a lot of issues right now. So you have, did you hear about, like, I forgot this girl's name. I think it's Charlotte Holden. I mean, I can't remember. 2020, I think we can all agree, is a cursive year. It's been a cursive year, yeah? You know, we had our bushfires here in Australia. We had a pandemic.
We're still kind of going through it.
Yeah, we're still going through it. But it's amazing, you know. But it's another thing I've got to talk about too. Yeah. It's amazing where the media was like all, you know, coronavirus, man, and, you know, and you know, inciting all this fear in the population. Now all of a sudden that's been swept in the rug, and it's all about America. And
well, no, it's more than America now. Man.
Yeah,
it's more global riots.
Yeah, global riots and the rest of it. But it's just another excuse again. And this is where my political views are going to come into play now and all that stuff, where it's just another way to attack Trump.
Yeah.
That's what it's come down to.
Yeah.
And they've changed it, and I think it's such a dishonor, an absolute dishonor to George Floyd. You know, by doing that. But in the lead up to what happened, all that stuff, you know, there was a disgusting comment from a woman named Charlotte Holden, with the Australian government's actually funding right now. All right. She was saying that coronavirus wasn't killing males fast enough.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
She's like, look, I think people need to face this. So if the viewers don't know where we're from Victoria, Melbourne, Victoria.
We'll say northern suburbs because, you know, we're ethnics from the area.
All right. But I think, and it's comfortable to say that we're in a fascist, feminist society here in Victoria. Okay.
Oh, look, depends where you go. Like,
yeah,
you know, that's my opinion. But when someone like that says something, because, you know, I've got family in Italy and all that stuff that actually lost. I just found out recently they actually lost. You know, granted he's probably like my second or third cousin and all that stuff, but they actually, you know, he lost his life to coronavirus.
Yeah.
But can you imagine for a second had it have been a male that said that about females, what would have happened?
Uproar,
absolute uproar. Okay.
Yeah, we fuck, man. No, I don't think we would have heard the end of that for a few months. Yeah.
No. But then fast forward for the later stages. I mean, it just keeps getting worse. It's like almost, you know, there's always curses on a Friday. But, you know, you find out about these riots and stuff that happen in America. And instead of people having silent vigils and peaceful protests and all that stuff in America, you got people that actually, I don't know if have you seen the footage of, you know, that woman that got beaten up by a 2x4? An elderly woman getting beaten up by a 2x4. And her husband having to watch this happen, him getting beaten up like close to death. Just trying to protect their home business. Like they live upstairs and they had a jewelry store downstairs, and there was this group.
Well, one of the riot areas.
Yeah. So people are like, they don't know yet, but there's actually been loss of life over this. But where's the peaceful protests and all that stuff?
Yeah.
You know, where's the silent vigils by candlelight and the rest of it?
Yeah.
You know, like
in some cities, there's videos of peaceful protesters not fighting, but they're trying to defend some fucking community sites from what is believed to be Antifa.
Yeah. But Antifa is meant to be like some fascist thing.
I know.
But if you're encouraging your rioters and looters by building, like, and a lot of them being women, you know, where are all the politically correct feminists now and all that stuff? I mean, and when Trump, and it's amazing how you see the media, you know, they'll turn around and say, you know, one particular thing about, like, you know, for example, Trump didn't come out initially when this happened about, you know, with the riots at the front of the White House and all this rioting and all that stuff, you know, he just, he said what he had to say, but he was seen as a weak president, you know. Now, the moment he turns around and says he's going to do something about it, like, you know, now he's overstepping his presidential, you know, powers and the rest of it and all that stuff. So it's damned if you don't do and it's damned if you don't, you know. It's, but it just seems this mainstream media and all that stuff, it's just, this is what I'm trying to say is it goes back to how hypocritical it all is, you know. And see that, you know, you can't even have an opinion that you like Trump. You know, where the other, where the left, well, you know, where the right, or sorry, you know, where the left hand side of it would be like, you know, they're against it, and you have to agree with it. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to the people who, you know, read between all the bullshit that is the mainstream media and see this for like, you know, and make like you said, what was the term they used before? Like haven't got their heads in the sand. You know, to actually see, you know, and you're labeled as a you know, as a racist or as a you know, as a male misogynist or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's copped it before.
Yeah.
I think, look, it doesn't matter.
No, but like even the supporters of him, that's what you get labeled as.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. But I think the biggest thing is I feel sorry for whoever the fuck was the president in 2020.
Yeah.
No matter who it was.
Yeah.
Like, no one's really fucking winning as the president this year. No. Like, no matter who the fuck won, like, 2016.
Yeah, but I think it's fair to say, though, do you think Obama would have copped the same flack as Trump?
Well, here's the thing.
Like, in all honesty.
No.
There's no way.
But at the same time, like, I don't want to talk too much about the fucking presidents, but
yeah, I know.
Like fucking with Obama, he wouldn't copped it, bro. But straight up, I don't think fucking Obama would have done anything.
Yeah.
Like, bro, we look at the fucking.
Well, that's the thing, you know, like the
career of Barack Obama. There's not a lot of great significance to it, man. I mean, okay, we got the first African American president of the United States. Great.
That was great.
We had, I guess, the kind of failed Medicare fucking
Obamacare
thing. Yeah, well, it was not as good as fucking many other countries, including our.
Yeah. Australia.
He was the first. He was the first president to what did he do?
I don't even
order
know
the death of a U.S. citizen.
Obama.
No, I just know he was president.
See, here's the trouble though. See, Obama as a president, oratorically, like he was very good. He was very.
Yeah,
he
looked
very good. He looked the part, and the rest of it.
He was fucking great.
Trump. You know, you can fall in love with his politics and the rest of it. You can't say he's the best speaker, you know, by any means.
No, absolutely not. But he's that's not what he is. He's a fucking entrepreneur.
Yeah, but in terms of action and what he's done, like for example, you know, again, it goes back to the media. Why they were calling him a coward because the riots did actually reach up to the White House. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
You see pictures of the fucking shit,
and they burnt down the chapel. They actually burnt down a chapel it's called the President's Church.
No, they didn't burn that down.
They did. Actually, they burnt it down.
Okay.
It was still standing, obviously, and all that stuff. Man, but someone
burnt the basement.
Yeah, they set it on fire.
Put it out before it got
so there's nearly every president or something like that. It's got a storied history of every president going down there.
How the fuck is it good to burn a church?
Well, that's what they did.
Exactly.
And then after that, you know, the Secret Service, whether Trump likes it or not, but it actually gets worse. So, you know, the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah. They try to fucking cut off Lincoln's head or something.
Well, but they vandalized it.
Yeah.
You know, like the Lincoln Memorial. This is a man who fought for black rights and the rest of it. Like how hypocritical. Like why isn't the media all over that?
Yeah.
Like how hypocritical that is, man. Then you got, you know, not even that. Just after, like, so you know, America had the Memorial Day. Which is, I think, equivalent to what Anzac Day is for us Aussies.
No. We have Memorial Day as well, man.
We do?
On November 11th.
Yeah.
We got 2 days to remember Anzac and
that's
Memorial
another
Day.
thing too. A week after they defaced the memorial site too.
Yeah.
That's another thing. So
I don't get it,
you
bro.
know,
It's probably African Americans on that fucking
Yeah. It's not like it's hypocritical.
Yeah, it's a weird fucking thing, man. It's a fucking weird thing.
It's just honestly like it's becoming crazy. It's like, you know what, the ones who like everything in history, you know, the ones who are, you know, look, I'm not saying that everything that, you know, Trump or whatever that like you got to make your own truth in all of this, yeah. And you know, it doesn't take a genius to see that, you know, the hypocrisy that's here. You know, for example, you know, going back to Trump again, you know, you got the riots and all that stuff, and Secret Service, he hasn't got a choice. Secret Service says he has to go in the bunker. You know what I mean? He hasn't got a choice. So that's what he does. And they call him a coward by doing that. All right? He hasn't got a choice.
He was in there for an hour.
Yeah, he was in there for an hour. And then, after that whole thing happened, he walked from the White House to that chapel that they burnt down, had the Bible in hand, and said, we're going to get through this, America. That wasn't good enough for the mainstream media either.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, actually,
like, of course he didn't say that, because like, I'm trying to tell you. But that's just how biased and, you know, one-sided, and like it's not even bipartisan. It's just one side of the story. It's a left. It's an extreme left. You know, it's got nothing to do with And I think it doesn't take a genius to see what's happening now. You know, like people, you know, that's the best thing about the internet and social media and the rest of it. Yeah, you got your keyboard warriors, and yeah, you got all these clowns and the rest of it. But for people who are just, I believe human beings have got like, a sense of goodwill, you know, and it's kind of sad too when America's, you know, when one of his principles, which actually I'm going to kind of deter from this, but there was a girl, she's a Democratic lecturer at a university, and she was given instructions on how to rip down obelisks. So you probably know that in Washington DC they have a huge obelisk,
Washington Monument,
monument and all that stuff. But she was giving instructions from an Egypt on how to tear it down.
Why?
Because like that's a monument that stands for, you know, the principles of which are beautiful, which is the right to worship, the pursuit of happiness, liberty and freedom for all, you know, and you're trying to tear that down, literally, you know. And like, I don't know if you saw as well where President Trump was having a war with Twitter, like, or social media.
I heard about this.
Yeah, because Twitter decided to fact check the president for inciting violence or like all that stuff, saying that if you don't stop the looting, we're going to start the shooting. You know what I mean? But you got some girl like this, you know, literally, you know, calling for I mean, you just got to see, like, it's just, again, it doesn't mean it doesn't need to be spoken about, but it's very hypocritical.
Yeah,
it's very hypocritical and that stuff, and it doesn't take a genius to see where the agenda, like, you know, there's an agenda behind it. But you know,
I think a lot of people understand it just from looking at it.
Yeah,
but I'm not saying that no one wants to fucking talk about it, but it's not.
I think it has to be spoken about.
But I'm saying it's not
Yeah.
spoken about a lot, like from, I don't know, I guess sources where fucking people can actually plug it in and listen to, like maybe conversations and shit. But yeah.
Well, that's why we're doing it today.
Like, I agree
that's why we're doing it today.
I agree with the protests. Like, the protests are right, but the stuff that's going on while those protests are going on.
You know, there was an actual video. There was an actual video from George Floyd, Jonathan, all right, where it's kind of eerie as well. Like, he's kind of saying, you know, he's kind of, I think it was a Facebook post where he's like, you know.
Was he an activist?
Not an activist. He was kind of like, you know, I was watching it as well. He was saying, you know, put the guns down and the rest of it and all that stuff, man. You ain't no, you know, in that black slang, you know, that African American slang and all that stuff, you know. And then he was saying the opposite of what's happening right now. You know, it's kind of eerie. He's on around all that stuff, man. But, you know, he was kind of saying, like, you know, you shouldn't be, you know, shooting up the streets and the rest of it and all that stuff, you know. But, I mean, how is this, honestly, when it comes down to, this is, you know, a massive dishonor to his memory. And this is not this is rioting. It's not a peaceful protest. This is not, you know, candles by night and the rest of it standing silent.
People fucking took advantage of this.
They definitely have. They definitely have.
You know, people have lost businesses, man. You know, there was a guy who's opened up a sports bar, and 2 days later they burnt it down. You know, people have been actually.
Yeah, fuck. What, you just opened it probably as soon as Corona shit got a bit better. Fuck, you deal with fucking cunts throwing a Molotov at your fucking building, like
Yeah.
And then you got this Antifa.
Antifa.
Yeah, Antifa. Like
Antifa, bro.
Antifa.
Bro, I thought they were just like, I'm not gonna lie, bro, just like a bunch of gays fighting for gay marriage. I thought that was what Antifa was fucking like a few years ago. Now it's just, fuck, they're about to be labelled a terrorist organisation because of this fucking shit.
I mean, like, when it comes down to the whole, you know, gay movement and all that stuff, like, good on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For you know,
I can get that.
You know,
I don't get this.
Yeah, this is this is on a completely different level. This is it's terrorism. It is. It's domestic terrorism when you think about it. You know, this is like, we got people looting Apple stores and Nike stores and all that stuff.
I
you
really
know,
hope that shit doesn't get bad here, because I already know fucking there's mass gatherings. There's mass gatherings in London already.
Yeah.
Not even the fucking same country, you know what I mean? Like, not neighbouring either, like fucking a fair bit away.
Yeah.
There's mass gatherings in London. People are disregarding fucking lockdown regulations. I wouldn't be surprised by the end of this riot period, fucking there's like a spike in fucking cunts that have contracted this shit.
Well, you know, let's not get into conspiracy theories and the rest of it.
Okay. I can see where you're about to go.
Yeah. All right.
I wouldn't disagree with it either, actually, because this is very fucking convenient.
Yeah.
But I know this Saturday, people are fucking planning to fucking like go to Parliament like this Saturday
in Australia.
Yeah, in Melbourne, bro.
Oh wow!
And like
But I
fucking don't know what the fuck's going to happen after this weekend.
It begs the question of, seriously, like, this is mob. This is the mob, yeah? What do you want out of this, though? If you're creating chaos and disorder and the rest of it, what are you offering as an alternative? What's the alternative?
Well, that's the thing.
Are you saying that we're going
want to offer one?
Yeah, but like,
they just want to fucking steal you.
Yeah, you're trying to overturn the government. You're trying to overturn the government and the rest of it, but for what ideal? Like, I don't understand.
Well,
like,
right now it's for fucking anarchy.
Yeah,
right now.
exactly. And who would want that, man? Like, you know,
yeah, I know.
I'm about to be a father.
Yeah.
You know, man, like, you got family and stuff of your own, man. Like, why would you want that type of, like, we need law and order. And, you know,
here's the thing, man.
I hope that, you know, I hope and I pray that that's not going to be the same case as going to happen in Australia. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I know some fucking people have taken it, like, look, how do I word this properly? I can get behind people in this country, can see it as a bad thing, and take it upon themselves to enact some change here. Like, I get there's an argument where, like, fuck, we don't need to worry. This is on the other side of the fucking world. But, you know, people, because of this George Floyd incident, it has brought up things that, aren't talked about so often, which is, you know, we have a higher incarceration rate of Aboriginals compared to America with African Americans.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a fact, right? So I guess that's a good way of using George Floyd's memory to fucking try and enact some change by talking about some things that, you know, apply to us specifically. Because obviously we can't use everything from George Floyd here, but, like, you know, maybe it's time to open our eyes on some other things, you know, like, oh, fuck, you know, they were missing out this year. What are we missing here? I can get behind that, right? I can. But I'm seeing what the fuck's happening in London, and I'm like, but what the fuck is going to happen after this weekend?
You know, yeah, it's a tough question.
What do they want to change?
This is a terrorist group that honestly just want to, you know, you know, look, whether it was happening in the United States with President Trump or whatever it is and that stuff, you know, a lot of people have lost their power, you know, or we'll call it the deep state and the rest of it and that stuff. And unfortunately, they got their tentacles everywhere when it comes down to the rest of the world. All right. What do they want? And these terrorist organizations are backed by these very same people that have kind of lost that you know what I mean? So they're trying to incite, you know, fear and it's I don't understand how. Again, it just goes back to, like, you know, we'll just use America as a blueprint here, but I don't understand how someone lost their life, you know, from a murderer, like from a murderer.
It's fair to say.
It's not to say a police officer, you know, it's homicide. What he does. That's what he got to say.
It's fair to say. Like,
and how this became all about President Trump. How this has gone, like, you know, it's become about him.
Oh, well, fuck it, bro. Fuck that, bro. How the fuck it turned into destroying fucking like-minded businesses and fucking,
you know, and if, you know, where's the again, it goes back to, you know, but where's all these political, again, Antifa and all that stuff. He was fighting for gay rights, and, you know, like they were feminists as well. Like,
no, I assume.
But where are they now? You know, but where are they right now? Where are they right now saying, you know, like, you know, with the people that are, like, beating up women and beating up, you know, well, all black people, whatever it is, African Americans, there was a, you know.
You're right. You're right. No one's actually put forward a fucking, like, solution.
Nah, they're just absolutely. They're an organization plus other elements as well, man. They're terrorists. They're just terrorists.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what it boils down to. And it's like, again, I don't know. I think that this particular group thinks that, you know, majority of people are dumb, you know, or stupid, and we're just gonna, like, you know, listen to like CNN and all that stuff. Man, like, honestly, when was the last time you guys watched CNN or?
Never.
Honestly,
do you take
the elections?
You know, the worst, even elections.
The elections when they were interviewing both candidates.
Okay,
that's the last time I actually could be fucked watching CNN.
But even in Australia, like, do you take the news? Like, Australia, I don't watch the news. Australia is absolutely disgusting too. You know, and I'm like, I'm Aussie, and I'm proud of it. I'm pretty sure the rest of us are there. But when it comes down to the media here in Australia, they're probably worse.
They're pretty bad.
They're honestly, they're actually worse and all that stuff. But you know, that's the thing about the internet and all that stuff, man. Like, they try to use this as, you know, what we call, like, you know, they try to condition social engineering. Yeah, that's right. You know, But the
bro,
best thing about
you
it,
fucking reminded me, man. You're saying Australian news is bad. Fuck, man. The project is fucked.
Yeah.
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 Yes, did you want to talk about social engineering? Yeah, steer away from the fucking project.
Okay.
Have you seen some things the project fucking talks about?
Is that with
That's a panel
on
of...
Channel 10.
It's meant to be satirical news.
Okay, yeah.
It's comical news. Yeah.
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 You
It's
know
got
what I mean?
Peter Hallier and all that stuff. Being like,
Yeah.
Who actually don't mind. I didn't want Peter Hallier.
Look, I
from
don't
back in
mind
the day.
them.
No.
Ali Waleed, yeah. Look, I got nothing against the guy.
Ali
But
Waleed,
Lisa
from
Wilkins-
what I've seen, she's
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I mean by social engineers, man.
yeah.
Like, she probably fucked that panel.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're allowed to disagree, but
Yeah.
like,
By all means, comment below.
yeah.
We will read every one of them. Trust me. And we couldn't care what you have to say. You know, if you absolutely agree to disagree, you know, comment below. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
Oh, what, with Lisa Wilkins?
Yeah. Like what? Like I've seen some of her stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Look, what fucking did it for me, man? Where I was like, okay, this is it. I'm never watching the fucking news again. Call her. Do you remember back in, I want to say 2018, early 2018, the unfortunate incident with Eurydice Dixon?
I can't say no.
I don't remember this.
She was a stand-up comedian that lived, I want to say around
Is
Carlton.
she the one that got murdered?
She did. She got raped and murdered on the way home from the train
I
station.
think I did hear
Okay.
about it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Horrible news.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely fucking horrible.
That is,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Well, my cousin was mates with her, man. Like, bro, he was fucking distraught when he heard, like, bro, it was a fucking big thing, you know?
Yeah.
This hits the project. Lisa Wilkins, this is a few years old, but I'm just saying this because this is when I stopped watching the fucking news, is talking about it, right? And the news, they never want to tell you what the fuck happens, right? They never just want to tell you the fucking fact, bro. They don't want to tell you how you should fucking feel about it, right?
Yeah.
And this is what Lisa Wilkins said, bro. That fucking, the upbringing of men in our society was the fucking problem. And you, like, I'm not going to leave a link because I don't want to fucking promote it, but if you want to watch it and someone's watching this right now, I want to watch it.
Please leave a link.
Go for it, all right?
Yeah.
Go watch Lisa Wilkins fucking talk about Eurydice Dixon. Completely fucking, I guess basically like fly swatted the fucking memory of her away. Just talked about how fucking parents need to fucking be raising their boys in a fucking manner where this doesn't happen. And I'm like, who the fuck raised their fucking kids so they would do this?
But this is what I'm trying to say about the media, though. This is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. Like,
And Brian-
why are you instilling fear and pointing the blame on, you know, like, we're men, like they're women. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, you know, like, why are you, you understand the divide and conquer,
Yeah, I know.
Like,
That's what
what
they
they
fucking
do,
do, man. That's
you know
what they
what I
fucking do.
and it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. You're talking about a gender,
Yeah.
which is half of the world's population, and it doesn't just stop in Australia.
That's funny.
You know, like I could turn around and say, you know, it's like, well, I'm going to go on a tangent here and stuff, but like, that's another thing. It's absolutely disgusting in Australia. It's absolutely like, you know, and that's got to stop. It does have to stop. You know, I think men as well need to seriously get some fucking balls. Get some fucking balls, man. Seriously. And like, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, cause, but you know, they need to start, you know, spreading facts, man. Talking like, you know, like, or, you know, not stand for stuff like this. You know what I mean? Because we're meant to be in a free society, and the rest of it, we're all equal, and the rest of it, I think we got the same principles as, you know, the Americans. You know, we pretty much, you know, we're in a free society with free speech and the rest of it and all that stuff. And I'm not gonna, like, you know, and males shouldn't feel like, you know, by stepping up and saying that, hey, that's not cool, by labeling an entire gender. You know what I mean? Like, you're not just labeling males. Like, you know, that's my father. That's my brother. That's my baby brother who's, you know, autistic or whatever it's got to do with all that stuff that you're labeling right now unfairly. You know what I mean? You're talking about numerous souls. You know, if she wants to talk about, you know, Lisa Wilkins, for example, like my brother, my baby brother, autistic and the rest of it, but still has a heart. So as far as I remember, if this is the person, this thing, she was murdered by an autistic person or something like that. Supposedly had autism. Is this the one?
Look, I'll be lying if I confirm that.
I don't know if it's the same, but I remember like
Yeah.
a similar case and all that stuff. Man, what am I meant to look at my baby brother and say he's going to be a murderer?
Yeah, fucking. It's
You know, and where my brother just came
I know.
like recently, you know, he had a school project where he was handing out blankets to the homeless.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like it's that, but that's what I'm saying. A dangerous comment like that, by you know, like as reporters, you have a massive responsibility. A massive responsibility. You know what I mean? Like you're in the limelight. You know, where thousands of people are hearing you and all that stuff, and you're. I don't know. Seriously, I don't even know how they can look themselves in the mirror sometimes. You know, these people, like, you know, they are literally causing anarchy. They are literally, you know, doing, you know, Lincoln said, you know, a house divided cannot stand.
No.
You know, and they are literally inciting, you know, division and the rest of it. You know, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Yeah. And the thing is, it's not about like it's gone as far where you're actually labeling, you know. I mean, we can all agree racism is wrong. Yeah, that's what everyone's like. You know,
I feel like any normal person will agree.
Yeah, but you're going to be, and then at the same time, you know, like I don't think any of us are responsible for what happened. You know, all them years back and all that stuff when women were fighting for equality and the rest of it and all that stuff, man, which I'm all for. I think all of us can agree here that we're all for equality, right? 100%. But I don't think it comes down to superiority.
No.
You know what I mean? Like we're in it together. You know what I mean? We're all relative to one another. You know what I mean? We like, you know, we're on Earth to live together, and you know, we're like the Earth needs the sun. We all need each other. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
But these people, I think they need to start being held accountable for what they say. I think males need to seriously start banding together and speaking up for themselves. Yeah, you know what I mean? And not feel guilty over it or judged and all that stuff, because we are in a free society. You know what I mean? And if people don't agree with you, great. That's the best thing. That's the best thing about it. We can agree to disagree. Yeah, you know what I mean?
We're not going to get fucking shot if we fucking don't. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're in a free society. Like, that's what people should be really, like, you know, afraid of. If you feel like you can't say, this goes back to the start of the conversation. If you seriously feel like you can't say what you feel, then isn't that just another development of your social anxieties, man, and the rest of it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm. But can you truly say what you feel?
You know, but
in
I
today's,
think
if you're brave enough.
Yeah.
If you're brave enough.
Yeah. If you're brave enough and all that stuff, man, which I think all of us right now are being brave enough. You know what I mean? We're saying how it is and the rest of it. But, you know, the other thing that's kind of scary as well is, and I don't think it's only just us that's doing it. Obviously, there's, you know, millions or thousands of people around the world, you know, speaking their mind and all that stuff. But we almost live in an Orwellian society where you, even if you do speak your mind and you do share the facts and state the truth and all that stuff, you get censored because it doesn't go along with the narrative, you know, or like, you know, again, we're not going to get into conspiracies and all that stuff, man. You're not, like right now, it's amazing that these terrorist groups and all that stuff, which on record now actually being funded by, you know, people like, you know, even celebrities like Steve Carell, for example, you know, like pay for a couple of these guys bailouts and all that stuff. People that have gone, you know, abused, harassed, you know, set like, you know, they're arsonists and everything else, and they're setting them free. You know, even the next presidential candidate for the Democratic Party is doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Is it Joe Biden that's still running? Yeah.
I can't stand that guy. I really can't, man. You know what? Do me a favor, whoever's watching this, if you're really a Joe Biden's the next presidential candidate for the other party.
Well, no, he's more than that. He was vice president to Barack Obama.
That's right. And Mr. Former Vice President, just look at him smelling little children. Say what, like, and supposedly you're not African American if you don't vote for Biden. Even though, again, let's get to the facts and all that stuff. You know, this is actually like under President Trump. This is factual. That there's been the lowest African American unemployment rate in
I think just unemployment.
Right? Hey, that's the thing. Like, do you think it's a good thing to actually bring Made in America back?
Yeah.
You know, scratch that. Even saying like Made in Australia back.
Look,
you know what I mean?
Like,
yeah.
If that shit started happening, like, fuck, bro, there's a job.
You know. But what's so wrong in saying that as a citizen of your country? what's so wrong as a first class, as a citizen, all right, man? What's so wrong about saying, I would like to have, you know, homemade products, you know, and be proud of the fact that we got, you know, made in Australia stamped on there? What's so wrong about that? I don't understand.
Yeah, no, man.
You know,
I
get we're up against, you know, corporations out there with billions and billions of dollars and all that stuff, and your media and all that stuff, man, to say, you know, otherwise. But
you know where that.
Why do people actually feel wrong about it? That's you know,
from where it started, man. It was because fucking was it the UN or APEC, bro? Maybe APEC. I think APEC had this agreement, and it started, man. Like after World War II, bro. Like we couldn't have all these, you know, fucking made in whatever country we're currently living in stamped on if we're in a first world country, because we've got to dedicate some manufacturing to the third world to try and give them a leg in the race. So it was mandatory. We gave 25% of all manufacturing to third world countries. Now it's more like, let's be honest, fucking 85 more.
Yeah.
Right? But say back then was like, oh, you know, fucking how dare you, bro? You know, there's fucking people starving here. They love a job, right?
Yeah.
Now, like, fuck. Now we know what that job looks like. Like, you look at fucking Bangladeshian fucking sweatshops, bro. They're fucking making 25 cents a fucking day. Like,
but people think this is right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
So when you got, you know, people
you'd rather
actually
fucking put a cunt in a sweatshop rather than fucking put your neighbour in a fucking job.
I know. It's absolutely, it's insanity. But that's what I'm saying. That's the world we live in today, man. And that's the insanity behind it and all that stuff. And, you know, I for the life of me, you know, I'd actually like to see the comments and the arguments about this. you know.
Well, let's see if anyone watches.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but fuck, anything else we want to go over tonight? Because have you been keeping time?
Yeah. What's like?
Still got time?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, is this? Oh, fuck! It's not in front of me. Get fucked. All right. Anything else we want to go over tonight, man?
You know.
I feel like we went on a bit.
I think we did.
Yeah, we went on
got very passionate. I think we got very passionate about it and all that stuff. But, you know,
went on a bit.
I think it was good talk. It was real talk and all that stuff, you know.
It was good.
And then
I've got a question, but do you think, so obviously back in the day you had like Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
And he led that whole group. Do you think there'll be someone like that comes up and stands up?
You know, well, Martin Luther King, man, he got assassinated.
He did, yeah.
And Bobby Kennedy, who was JFK's brother at that stage, he came out. He was a candidate running up to the presidency and all that stuff. And you can imagine, you know, someone as prolific and as important as Martin Luther King was assassinated. I think it's fair to say that was, you know, in the mindset of African Americans, that was their leader, you know. And he was assassinated, and Bobby Kennedy came out and addressed, you know, an African American group, and you got to think about the balls on this guy too, you know. And everyone was expecting anarchy, and you know all that stuff. But he came out and was on a podium, and he said to everyone, he goes, it's a very famous speech, a very powerful one, and he said, the only thing that's going to get us through this is hope. You know, he goes, if you're going to turn around and put the blame on a white man for what happened to Martin Luther King, he goes, don't forget that a white man killed my brother. We're all in this together. You know what I mean? So he goes, the only way we get through this is together, you know, in hope that we're going to get through this together. You know, like we're in solidarity where, you know, like Martin Luther King, like, you know, even his protests, they were always peaceful. I mean, the Million Man March, you know, you had the Million Man March and all that stuff, and they were always peaceful protests. You have the, you know, the most, probably, I think, I want to say the famous, but one of the most famous speeches of all time, which, you know, I have a dream, you know, that, you know.
Yeah.
That's powerful. That's
Do you
impactful.
think there'll be
you know?
someone that comes up like him to lead these people?
Well, it definitely wasn't Barack Obama. You know, it definitely wasn't Barack.
Because I think a better question is the age of heroes gone? But I mean, let's think about the people that, let's think about people that fucking win People of the Year awards now.
Who are they?
Well, last year it was fucking Greta Thunberg.
Oh, I tried to forget about her, maybe
this-
you
yeah.
just reminded
This
me.
is what I'm trying to say, bro. Is
Yeah.
the age of heroes just gone?
I think it's the age. Yeah, look, it's
I think
no. Look, you know, I don't. Man. I think
I
human
think maybe
beings.
we're going through a little fucking dark era.
No. I just think human beings have a desire, a deep embedded desire where they want. You know, they want to be good. they want heroes, man. We all need a hero, like the song. You know, we all need a hero, and unfortunately,
Fresh from a fight.
huh?
Fresh from a fight.
Yeah, fresh from a fight. What do you mean?
Yeah, the song. bro.
Oh yeah. I need a hero. yes. But yeah, I do believe. But the thing is, right now, again, you see, I'm not trying to go in conspiracy territory, but in my opinion, you all know what a coup is, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
You do know what a coup is, Jonathan? Like, of course.
Fuck, you dated Greek, bro. How the
I
fuck
don't
do
know
you...
if I've heard of this word.
Coup d'etat.
A coup d'etat.
If you tell me, I might have. heard of it.
So, you know, an overthrow of the government or the regime or whatever like that, man, you know, by... It's got a lot of
Okay.
different,
alright.
but, you know. But a coup. There was a coup d'etat that happened in
I guess,
America.
like, not by the fucking law set in
Yeah.
place. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like we do whatever the fuck we
But
want.
at the same
Yeah.
time, man, it was a stealth one.
Mm.
You know, there was a coup d'etat that stealthily happened in America. Okay? And I'm not going to go into...
Recently?
No, you know, I think...
I think
was
we'll
it-
save that for another
We'll say that for
so-
another time. We'll say that for another time.
So
But
that's
there's
gonna
been
fucking
enough...
get any older.
But there's been enough time between now and then where we've had, you know, world leaders, you know, take advantage of future generations, us.
Yeah.
And we're all paying the price. I mean, like, it doesn't take a genius to see that. You know? There's, you know, I mean, like, the most scariest thing is now and all that stuff, you know, even the core principles or values of a human being, you know, the most important ones and all that stuff, you know, it doesn't matter what, if you're looking towards philosophy or whatever it is, any sound-minded person will turn around and say that the core principles and values of a human being is family, faith, and love. You know what I mean, man? All of these things now are corny. All of these things are laughed at. You know, and it took... And a society like that, look, I mean, it just goes to show you, like, you know, a society like that can't stand. Look what we're going through today. If you're not a big believer in something bigger than yourself, like having spirituality, it doesn't matter what you know, walk of faith you are, then you're always going to be a person who thinks that, like, you know, I mean, you're going to have people like right now who just have no substance. They're just, everything's based on material.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why you got all the looting and all that stuff. But I'm so, not to go into a rant, because it's going to last for another, you know, God knows how long, all right? But, you know, like you said, we'll touch on this on another episode or some other time.
Okay,
But-
we don't have a lot of time left on this one.
Yeah. But to in closing, that's unfortunately what's happened, you know, and we're unfortunately bearing the brunt of what's happening at the moment, you know, because of that coup d'etat that happened, you know, more than a couple good decades ago. So, but I do have hope. Yeah, you're not a human being if you haven't got hope.
No.
You know?
At least you're not fucking living properly anyway.
Nah.
Like,
You
some
know?
cunts are just waiting to fucking get buried into a fucking ground and believe that this is going to be fucking oblivion. Like, yeah, there's fucking people like that exist.
Yeah, I know.
And they're just, yeah.
But
they're not living
it just goes back to them core values of what you need to have to, you know, if you should always have that pursuit of happiness, man. You should have that optimism. You should have that you know, faith that you have a, you know, whatever spirituality you have, but you have something, you know, that's around you. It just creates good aura and, you know, good, you know, faith. Just having faith alone, you know, and being humble. Like, I'm not trying to tell people how to be and all that stuff, but I mean, definitely look back on the core. Like, look, you know, when you're spending time with your family,
Yeah.
I mean, and your loved ones, and all that stuff, it's good. You know, it's home. You know, if you go into a church, a mosque, you're Buddhist yourself.
It's just a fucking temple, really.
A temple, all that stuff, man. There's something that happens. I think you can relate to that. You know, you know, you're like almost a renewal of the soul. You know, but I think, like, in closing, people have to start focusing on them core values again. You know, that would be my recommendation. Agree to disagree in the comments.
Yeah. Well, shit, we got deep. Fuck. I don't really think we could talk about anything else. Really.
No. It was. I know this is completely different to our last episode.
It
Yeah,
is
it is.
very different.
It's gonna be a big focus. I reckon we should come out with another one before the weekend.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, I reckon we should come out with another one
We're
before
definitely
the
gonna
weekend.
come out with
yeah.
another one. Yeah, but I'm
Something a bit
touching on.
lighter,
Yeah,
yeah.
But I think we're gonna be good human beings if we do.
Yeah,
it like
yeah,
that,
of
you
course,
know?
of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
not
mean,
be fucking
we-
oblivious. Yeah,
yeah.
no, I get that. I get
I
that.
mean, we are living in literally in a history class this
We
year.
are.
Yeah, so
2020 is the year of fucking no,
Craziness.
really.
yeah, and we're on YouTube. We're on a platform. You know, that's literally like standing on top of a mountain, and voicing our own opinion. This is our opinions that we would like to share with the rest of you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right. So, in closing, because don't fucking burn your local business.
Don't burn your local church.
Goodwill to your fellow man and woman. Goodwill to your fellow man and woman.
Yeah. Have a bit with faith, or hope at least, and well, let's don't be responsible for making that shit happen here.
Yeah.
I like my life right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's pray not.
Okay.
Until next time.
Thank you for watching the very first episode too.
Ever.
Thank you.
Ever.
Good night.